The stress hormone, cortisol. Some of you might have heard of it, and generally it's painted as a villain when you don't look at it in a nuanced manner. Cortisol is yes, it's called the stress hormone, but it's there for a reason. It's there to save you from stress. It's there to save you from stress. It's not there to kill you when you're under stress. So cortisol system is designed to release energy from cellular stores and body stores, so that when you face a stress, you have enough energy and you have enough inflammatory suppressing properties that will let you tide over that crisis, and once the crisis is over, you can go back to rest and repair. So cortisol will stop rest and repair. It will put everything on standby and it will let you get past the crisis. So once upon a time, it used to be a very effective system, but later on it became a problem. In modern life, it became a problem because we have stress that is non-stop. It starts in the morning and it doesn't end at night. It goes on through the night and it's the next day, and it goes on for months and weeks and years, and that's what breaks your system down. So normally cortisol has two peaks in a 24-hour cycle. In a circadian rhythm, there's a peak at 4 a.m. in the morning, and then there's a smaller peak at 4 p.m. roughly around 4 p.m. in the evening. And so the 4 a.m. peak is what wakes you up, what helps you wake up in the morning. So when you're having difficulty waking up in the morning, you can't get out of bed, that's usually because your cortisol level isn't high enough, or it's already, the baseline is so high that the body can't produce an extra cortisol spike in order to wake you up. That can be one reason. Or you've slept too late, which is also a reason for why your cortisol stays high. You can have a high peak in the morning, and then it should drop down towards the afternoon, and then you should have another smaller peak in the evening. Now after that smaller peak in the evening, it starts to drop down rapidly, and towards the night it should be low enough for you to fall asleep. If it still stays high at night, you're not going to be able to fall asleep, or even if you fall asleep, the sleep quality is going to be disturbed and you're going to have reduced deep sleep. And if you don't have enough deep sleep, or if your cortisol stays high at night, you're not going to rest and repair very effectively. So what you need to do is to find ways to bring your cortisol down in the appropriate manner, and you need to find ways to make sure that your cortisol doesn't stay high throughout the day. So just like the cortisol goes up and down in waves, your stress should also come in and go in waves. So you can't have stress throughout the day. You need to wave it. You need to have a big peak in the morning, and then slow down in the afternoon, and then have a smaller peak in the evening and slow down in the evening. So for that, make sure that you eat at the right time. Make sure that you sleep and wake up at regular times instead of changing your sleep schedule on a daily basis. This is very important. Make sure that you eat good food, because if you're eating food that makes your gut inflamed, that itself can raise your cortisol. That itself can be a stressor, and that can cause your cortisol to stay high throughout the day. You can follow practices like meditation and prayer to bring down your stress levels. You can pursue a hobby that you're not too competitive about, something that you enjoy. You can have hobbies that you're very serious about, and as long as you enjoy them, it's going to bring down your cortisol. But if it's something that you're pushing in order to hit numbers, something that you're competing in, something that itself becomes a source of stress, that's not going to bring down your cortisol. So you can have people who say they enjoy going to the gym, but their enjoyment is not actually lifting the weight. Their enjoyment would be in seeing how high their numbers are compared to the last time. Yes, you get a fix from it, but is it really enjoyment, or are you substituting real pleasure for the numbers on the board? So I talked about exercise, I talked about meditation. Now if you're exercising, if you're doing strength training, I would like you to strength train earlier in the day, and I would like you to do something easy like walking later in the day. So if you went out and did a big strength workout, a very intense strength workout in the evening, your stress hormone levels might stay too high for you to sleep at night. You might have noticed that in your own practice. So if you do a very hard workout at night, you might have noticed that the sleep at that night is worse, and it takes 2 or 3 days for you to recover from it. So it depends on how hard you're pushing in the gym. And the final part, the diet. If you eat too late at night and your body is having to work hard to digest that food, you're going to keep your gut awake while your body tries to sleep, and that can cause your cortisol to stay high. So if there's a circadian mismatch, so there's multiple body clocks in your system. There's one that depends on the sunlight, there's one that depends on food, and there's one that depends on your sleep. And your body works best, these hormones work best when all of these clocks are in synchrony. And if you eat at odd times, you sleep at odd times, you exercise at odd times, you start making these clocks clash with each other, and that shoots up your stress level for no reason. So you might be doing all the right things, but if you're timing it wrong, you can end up with a high cortisol. There are supplements to help with cortisol. There are individual tweaks that we can do to a person's lifestyle to improve their cortisol, but those personalized recommendations I cannot make on a YouTube video because there's too many. So these are the broad outlines. This is just a video to encourage you to be more regular in your habits and try and time your stressors right, time your exercise right, and start practices like meditation and prayer on a regular basis in order to compensate for the kind of stress we are under in our day-to-day lives. So if you've got questions, put them in the comments, and you can message me on Facebook, and we'll try and put up a follow-up video to those questions. Thank you.